Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, we had a fight in the super middleweight division. Matter of fact, yesterday, I waited a little bit. A little tired handling my business. Plus, I kind of want to just see something, like I always see. And it was against two-time middleweight champion Daniel Jacobs versus John Ryder. And John Ryder is from England somewhere. I forget exactly where, but John Ryder is, he's infamous for the fight he had against Caleb Smith, where a lot of people say he won the fight. Now, I didn't see that fight, but I guarantee you in that fight, he looked better than what he looked like in the fight that we're about to talk about with him and Daniel Jacobs. Now, as you probably all know, John Ryder wins the fight versus Daniel Jacobs. Now, I've watched the fight a time and a half, I would say, and I concentrated on the rounds that John Ryder was supposed to have won, according to Gab Rizzado's scorecard. So I watched those intensively to look at those rounds. It was 7, 8, and 9. Because what had happened here, basically this fight has gotten kind of the Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Casemiro treatment, right? Brother gets robbed, blatantly robbed, and we're just moving on like that didn't happen, right? John Ryder, as much as I think the guy's okay or whatever, I have nothing against him, he did not win this fight. A winner of a fight does not look like this. And you know what? To be honest, the fight wasn't that close to be able to be taken. Daniel Jacobs, first of all, rounds 1 through 6, there is no question that Daniel Jacobs won all those. Even Gab Rizzado's card had Daniel Jacobs drawing the first round and winning the first 6. He gave the other 7, 8, and 9 to John Ryder. And I watched round 7, intense, right, to make sure, right? And in round 7, the best you could really do is give it an even. Because John Ryder did come on and land some punches late in that round. But before all of that happened, it was similar to Joseph Parker versus Chisora, right? Where Chisora, came on towards the end of the round. And we couldn't give him the round because he got beat up the rest of the round. John Ryder was losing round 7. He had about 5 right hands. And then he came towards the end of the round. He had a flurry. He had a good 30 seconds. That doesn't win you the round. It can tie you the round, or you were competitive in that round, but winning. Round 8 was the round that Ryder definitely won. Ryder won round 8. There's nothing to say about it. Round 9 was also very, very close in an even round. And those are the rounds that he was supposed to be given. The other rounds he didn't win. He didn't win 10, 11, 12. And he certainly didn't win 1 through 6. So if you didn't win 1 through 6, that would mean you would have to win 7 through 12, wouldn't it? And that's just not the case. This fight, I think your boy Dan Jacobs won this fight by 3 or 4 rounds. Now, this is the thing where we would probably do to Daniel Jacobs. Well, you could have done more. I'm sick of telling brothers they could have done more all the time. Can't win a close fight. Can't be worried about what's coming back. Can't just cruise home. Right? Or what we're going to do? We're going to call it lackluster, like every fight Devin Haney has, where he beats everybody every single round. It was lackluster with Devin Haney and Linares. It was lackluster with Devin Haney and Jojo Diaz, and he won every damn round. Maybe lost 1 or 2 rounds. I'm talking about both fights. Give him maybe lost 4 rounds on both of those fights, 2 rounds apiece, and it's still lackluster against great fighters, right? So. Daniel Jacobs, he didn't let his hands go enough against Johnny Golovkin. Yeah, he beat Golovkin. He didn't let his hands go against Canelo. If he would have done a little bit more, why did he have to do more? How much did Canelo do when Daniel Jacobs fought him? We don't ask that question. Canelo didn't do much either. You know what I mean? And this fight, Daniel Jacobs won the damn fight. It wasn't even close. But what I'm worried about right now is it needs to get the Manny Pacquiao versus Horn treatment, which means we should rewatch it, and have those people who gave these rounds to John Ryder explain themselves. Right? Daniel Jacobs is just tired of him not getting decisions that he's definitely won and not getting them because he could have done more. But we don't ask his opponent that they could have done more. And it's really sad because Daniel Jacobs also has a good story, a comeback story, right? Let me tell you something. After the fight, when your boy raised his hands and John Ryder, the crowd, when he was getting up on the ropes, the crowd, I heard some boos in there. The crowd knew what time it was. But, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to go for your people because they're fighting in Ryder's backyard and everything, and the people are going for him. No doubt about it. It's okay. But that's what the scoring and the judges have to stop, you know, being influenced by the noise. And I tell you, every time I'm talking about judging fights, they need headphones. They should be oblivious to sound. Because who cares when you throw a punch? When you're at home, you don't have to land. You just got to throw punches. Once you throw punches, they're going to do something. Even when you evade punches, at home, everything is celebrated. And that just has to be calculated when we're talking about judging a fight. I just don't like after a day after the fight that no one's talking about how bad Daniel Jacobs got robbed. It's a robbery. If we're going to call a lot of other stuff robbery, we call Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn a robbery, and that wasn't one. Right? And, you know, it's a lot of other stuff. So, you know, in this fight, nobody was ever hurt. Nobody was ever staggered. So you're looking at who landed the punches, who were winning the rounds, and that's just you know, Daniel Jacobs. And let me tell you something. Ryder won this fight barely. No one's calling for a rematch. Just like Casemiro and Rigondeaux. No one's calling for a rematch. Too close. Canelo versus Lara. Ooh, we're not asking for a rematch. No, just move right on. Move right on. We ain't going to, you know, readdress that. Let's move on. Let's start talking about who he's going to fight, John Ryder. And they're going to be talking about, they won't be talking about David Morrell Jr., who Ryder is now his mandatory, right? But they're saying Canelo, because this is a perfect opponent for Canelo. He doesn't have that much punch power. He's from Europe. And now he's got a belt that he really don't deserve. This is Canelo will definitely going to fight him. Now, Canelo should be fighting Benavidez, the lineal champ at 168. So he's, you know, he not really want to do that. He's not going to fight Gilberto Ramirez at 175, right? So we know a guy like Ryder coming up where people are saying he deserves, right? Instead of saying he has to fight Jacobs again because he got robbed. No, they're going to say he should fight Canelo. Because they're not going to mention David Morrell because I don't think nobody's going to fight David Morrell. He's a Negro League fighter. So we'll see what happens. I just didn't appreciate that no one's saying anything about it. Yeah, this is a robbery, unfortunately. You know, you don't like to say it, but at some point when people are going to continue to do stuff, look right now. Now, I'm not going to even do a video about this. You know, with George Kambosos and Devin Haney, undisputed fight at lightweight. We're not going to have it. I've told you 1,000 times that it's not going to happen. I've told you why. And, you know, but some think that I'm pessimistic. It's just, you know, you're a realist, right? You know why these people are up to this. Right? We can't get an undisputed fight. Kambosos is going to fight somebody else and not Devin Haney for undisputed because they're playing keep away from Devin Haney, because if he becomes undisputed, the shenanigans stop. If Demetrius Andrade would have fought Canelo for undisputed middleweight, the shenanigans stop. We can't call someone better than them, so we have to keep them away. We didn't want Lomachenko, who started the whole mess at lightweight division with this franchise title. We kept him away from Devin Haney. We kept Teofimo Lopez away from Devin Haney, and where they could have fought for undisputed. Devin Haney can't fight against his mandatory, be it Ryan Garcia or Jojo Diaz, who he finally was able to corner. Right? Now we have a new guy who beat Teofimo Lopez, who doesn't want to fight Devin Haney also. So that means Devin Haney has definitely tried to fight everybody of significance, even Gervonta Tank Davis too, Javier Fortuna. There's never that Devin Haney doesn't want to fight. It's the other guys. So that's the star in the lightweight division. All the other ones, like I've told you before, it is Devin Haney and the rest. He's still the baddest one, and there's proof of it. But, you know, they would be worded differently. Just filter through that. Yeah, Daniel Jacobs beat John Ryder. He won't get credit for it. Now he has 3 losses on his resume. It's not fair. Let's see if anybody else besides me will say anything about it. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm about here, y'all.